Researchers continue to piece together the fragments of ancient civilizations. We know how our ancestors farmed the land and built glorious cities 10,000 years ago. But what do we know about our ancestors' ancestors? Where did they come from, and is there a missing link to be found?
50,000 years ago, an advanced race of beings came to Earth after their home planet was destroyed. They established a civilization here that became known as Atlantis. Modern humans inherited everything from these alien visitors, according to Sarian. In fact, we are them.
They interfered with the indigenous population of this planet. And when I say interfere, I mean genetically, biologically.
Alien blood. The idea blows a hole through mainstream theories of human evolution.
In northern Kenya, they have found a boy, the skeleton of what is believed to be one of our oldest ancestors.
By using carbon dating on that skeleton and others, scientists have formed a consensus about when the first humanoids evolved. But something extraordinary happened 30,000 years ago. After millions of years of slow evolution, humans began a rapid advance from cave painters to sophisticated pyramid builders.
You don't have pyramids, and you don't have basket weaving, and you don't have metallurgy, and you don't have all of these anomalies just popping out of the blue. We have whole mathematical concepts with no antecedent, stages, which we know must have existed.
This knowledge could only come from alien visitors, says Sarian. And it was bestowed upon the citizens of Atlantis, transforming the island into the intellectual beacon of the pre-ancient world.
It's bigger than Rome, it's bigger than Egypt, it's bigger than Greece. Atlantis is bigger even than our own cyber age, actually. Because the further we get away from it in time, there it looms on the road ahead of us again.
Sarian is convinced there were some 500 alien visitations during the time of Atlantis. And because of the spectacular nature of these encounters, there is evidence if you know where to look.
In the coffin texts of the Egyptians, we hear about crafts that come and pick up princesses and fly them to foreign shores in an instant. We have the Laura caves in India where you can actually go and look at them. These wall reliefs where it literally shows you crafts with little people inside them, the gods, above the tree line, and all the heads of the people are looking up.
And check out these Mayan stone carvings found in Mexico. The figure appears to be riding a rocket, his foot pushing on an accelerator. His body position is nearly identical to that of modern-day astronauts. Another ancient visitor stares out from a rock in the Sahara Desert. And dozens more in Australia that some say look like astronauts.
There is absolutely no doubt. I am definitely sure that we have been visited several times in antiquity by extraterrestrials.
It's been 40 years since Eric von Daniken first wrote about ancient astronauts in his book Chariots of the Gods. Since that time, authors like Zecharia Sitchin have gone to the far ends of the earth looking for clues, painstakingly piecing together enough fragmentary evidence to build a new theory of human evolution.
A basic conclusion of my writings has been that those who gave mankind civilization were visitors to Earth from another planet. If I say extraterrestrials, it's a dirty word, but that's what they were. This is called
Sitchin is one of the few people on Earth able to read 6,000-year-old Sumerian texts. These writings, according to Sitchin, contain unmistakable clues to ancient intergalactic space travel.
And in order to come and go between them, their planet and our planet, they needed a space facility. The space facility was in a place in Mesopotamia, in today's Iraq. The mission control center was at a place called Nippur, and the actual spaceport was in a place called Sipar, which can be translated as Bird City. Many of them were depicted as birdmen with wings.
And if these birdmen or aliens had a laboratory, was it located on Atlantis? Michael Sarian says the original inhabitants of the island were cosmic guinea pigs.
The next step in the plan was to actually then go to the biological level and to hybridize, to create a transgenic experiment that would cross the alien DNA. This is DNA from completely foreign beings with the beings of the Earth.
But just how the island disappeared is another theory altogether.
Iraq. According to some experts, we can find very detailed information on UFOs and aliens in the old Sumerian culture, now considered to be the cradle of our civilization. The people then had extraordinary astronomical knowledge. Zachariah Sitchin.
If somebody says, where did you get the idea? I say, I read the Sumerian tablets, and that's what they say. They said that our solar system is made up of 12 members. And this is stated in the Sumerian text over and over and over again, not one time. And they say there is the sun, which is in the center, not like the Greeks or others thought that the earth is in the center. The sun, there's the moon, which they gave reasons why they considered it a member by its own, and 10, not 9, but 10 planets. Therefore, I'm very happy that when today astronomers look for this planet, they call it Planet X. They mean maybe the unknown planet, but it's also the 10th planet. They called it Nibiru, which means planet of the crossing, and the ancient symbol was the cross, not from Christian times, but from 6,000 years ago. And they say that this planet, the 12th member of our solar system, has a very large orbit of 3,600 years, and every 3,600 years it comes between Mars and Jupiter close to us. And it is then, they said, that people that look like us, not with little horns or green, people that look like us, started to come between their planet and Earth about 450,000 years ago. Why do they look like us? We look like them. Because if you know the Bible, which is based on the Sumerian tales, at some point they engaged in genetic engineering and mixed their genes with the genes of Homo erectus. We can use various scientific terms, but let's say with early hominids, to bring about Homo sapiens, us.
As far as human beings go, we are told that we evolved in the Darwinian sense from primates, that we are related genetically and biologically and very closely to chimpanzees and somewhat more distantly to gorillas and orangutans and gibbons. So, but chimpanzees are our closest genetic and biological relatives. So we are primates. We are all considered primates, all of us in the primate family, the chimps and the gorillas and us. The problem is we really don't share any of the basic fundamental primate traits. All primates have 48 chromosomes and we have 46. Now, how do you lose 2 whole chromosomes from where you are and produce a being that is so much more skilled and adapted, particularly intellectually, than as we are? You would think if we're going to be such a vast improvement over the primates, we would have, 56 or 58 or maybe 60 chromosomes. How do you lose 2 chromosomes and get better? It really makes no sense. None of it. When you really just sit down and look at the very basics of it, none of it makes sense. We're not primates. We are not primates. To call us primates is to insult us and them, because there's just no connection. What could make something change so radically, literally overnight, in anthropological terms, and be anything remotely associated with Darwinism. I believe, personally, that the writings of the Sumerians 4,000 years ago, as chronicled by Zechariah Sitchin in his books, The Earth Chronicles, I believe that is the most logical and reasonable explanation that there is for how we came to be. They tell an incredible story, the Sumerians do, of the Anunnaki, which is that there is another planet in our solar system, that gods, super beings, live on this planet, that these beings come to Earth.
Could the Anunnaki have genetically engineered humans? It sounds incredible until we consider that we